Florida Republican Congressman-elect Brian Mast joins me. And as a side, I won't do this to you again, Congressman, but I do want to point out to the viewers that you are the recipient of the Bronze Star for your service in Afghanistan. I thank you. And the Bronze Star, of course, is for heroism. So having said that, thank you for your service. And now let me turn to today. Right now, where is everybody?
You know, right now there's a number of people in a conference meeting between Kevin McCarthy, those that are dissenting from him, trying to work things out. Some people are at dinner, some people are doing interviews right now, but everybody's coming together to figure out how we get across this line.
How do you get across that line? Because it seems like it's been sort of a fluid goal line. So, you know, what was wanted in the beginning, changing the rules, for instance, you know, how many it would take for a motion to vacate, essentially to unseat a speaker. But now it's sort of hard to figure out what they want. Is it just they don't like Leader McCarthy? Is that it?
There are absolutely some personal problems that some have, right? I always use the example, none of us can sit down at Thanksgiving dinner with our own flesh and blood and agree with our own blood on everything. We're strangers to some degree, and of course that's going to happen where there's personal issues. Here's the two things that I really think are behind the scenes that have to get over. There's a fear and there's an albatross. And I think the fear, it's a very real fear that Americans have given us an opportunity to go and right this ship, that America can't continue, literally, with what has been taking place. And there's a very real fear that we don't take advantage of the opportunity, that we do fail, that our colleagues are very literally fearful of that. And that's a legitimate fear. It's a fear for me as somebody that's risked my life for this country, that we fail and America fails because we couldn't stop the madness that's going on. That's a real fear that people have to get over, and they have to find a way to do it. The albatross is this. There's people that look at Kevin McCarthy with a very fresh wound of what happened with Mitch McConnell over in the Senate, and they want to say that Kevin is Mitch McConnell, but that's the fact. Kevin is not Mitch McConnell. Kevin is not Paul Ryan. Kevin is not John Boehner. That is why we have the change in rules that are going on right now, because he is different, because he wants to empower the members, decentralize power out of the Speaker's office. That's why everybody has come together to make those changes, and that is different, and I think people have to realize that.
President Trump is now getting a little bit involved, and certainly a lot of the dissidents, I refer to the term dissidents, meaning the small minority who are against Leader McCarthy. They're strong supporters of President Trump, but they seem unmoved or unpersuaded by the president. What are your thoughts on that?
I think one of the most difficult things that people in Washington, representatives like myself and everybody else, they talk to you all, the media. And as soon as somebody talks to the media and they put their position out there, their flag, their marker, and they say, I'm not going to do this or I'm guaranteed going to do that, they put themselves in a hole that is damn near impossible for them to get out of. And you had a lot of people placing these markers out there weeks and months ago saying they're not going to do something. They dug that hole, and now they just get further and further entrenched in that, whether President Trump speaks to them or anybody else. I think that's one of the toughest things for a lot of these folks. They dug that hole and they can't get out of it.
Well, it's amazing how much 2 years makes, difference in 2 years. And for instance, Congressman Kamek was talking about how different 2 years has made. Let's listen to what she had to say. She's from Florida.
The gentleman, my friend, Kevin McCarthy from California, has done more than anyone in this chamber to secure a Republican majority. Every single returning Republican in this chamber who cast a vote 2 years ago in the last Congress voted for Kevin McCarthy as our leader. We were united then, and we must unify now. That's the only way to start the people's business, the very reason that we're all here. It's to unify and get to work.
Do you get a sense, sir, that the dissidents, I go back to that word again, that they want to unify, or do they just want to win and make a point?
I don't think it's just that some people want to win and make a point. Do they want to make a point? Yes. Do they want to see very real and substantial change so that rank and file members like myself, we're not just a part of the process because they have to let us speak and they have to let us have a minute or two. No, that our words get to really make a difference because we are duly elected like everybody else here, and we're supposed to have that real influence on the process. That hasn't happened historically for many, many cycles of Congress. They want to see that change take place, and they need that confidence that will take place. And there's an effort going on to get there. You know, I look at it kind of like the process of saying, you know, how many times did Thomas Edison fail to make the light bulb until he made the light bulb? That's this process that's going on. And I'll give one other thing that I think is positive in this. It's a struggle at the moment, but it's positive. You know, as they put up Jim Jordan and he says no, and Byron Donalds and the conference says no, and Andy Biggs and the conference says no, and the list goes on. They're going to realize, hey, you know what, we've put up all these people, and the conference has spoken that they don't want each of these people, that they are looking for this. There is a positiveness in that as well, or a silver lining in that as well.
Congressman Brian Mast, I said I wouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it again. I do thank you for your service, and you made a huge sacrifice for the rest of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.